All right, I'm still waiting for my Dan Campbell jersey to show up. I'm starting to think it's not coming, but I'm not giving up hope yet. The Detroit Lions get the guy everyone else wanted. You see the title, and now it's like official. We can just get excited about the offseason and next season. Like I think the hangover from that loss is over, and it's kind of like, man, we've got some exciting, fun football ahead of us. And so the guy that I'm talking about, that it's clear everybody else would take him in a heartbeat, is Jamir Gibbs. Jamir Gibbs, and I'm going to get to, and I'm going to compare him to Alvin Kamara and Chris Johnson. And you can see what I'm saying by this guy is legit. We are so lucky to have him. And not only that, we'll look at what it means for next year when you partner him with Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. I mean, all these guys are going to jump into their second year. Remember, Jameson Williams, this was his rookie year as well. So crazy. All right, here we go. Brad Holmes said he is going to be scary once he has this second year. That jump from first to second is always the biggest. We selected Jamir Gibbs because he was just a special player, regardless of position. And remember, we had two running backs at the time. So it's like, all right, we have two running backs. Brad Holmes like, I'm going to get special players in here and we'll figure it out after that. So in the draft, when the Lions don't take a corner in the first round, which I just see Brad Holmes not doing, and we're like, what? And it's like, I'm getting good players. Just trust me. And for him to have the relationship that he had with David Montgomery and just the way those two fed off each other, Scotty Montgomery teaching those guys, it takes everyone, but I'm just happy for Jamir. Again, I'm just excited he's going to be better next year. Like this was just scratching the surface of what he did this year. Next year, he's going to be better, which is scary, but super proud of him. He's so humble. He's worked hard. It's perfect fit. So you look at Jamir Gibbs, what he was able to do rushing this year. 945 yards. I mean, you guys remember when we couldn't find a running back to rush for 100 yards in a game. We were doing that all the time this year. I mean, Jamir Montgomery went for 100. Like they both went for 100 in one game. It's like this is how far this franchise and the players have come. So 945 yards. You look at Alvin Kamara, who he's always talked about with. This is just rushing yards, 728, 883. So in his first year, it took Alvin Kamara, till his fourth year to break 900 rushing yards. So Alvin Kamara is really good out of the backfield too. So we're not looking at scrimmage yards. We're just looking at rushing. But it just shows you Gibbs can straight up pop the big runs. That is something we have not had in a long time. And that's where Jamal Williams, look at the difference, right? Jamal Williams compared to Jamir Gibbs. I know everybody was like, Jamal Williams, he's the heartbeat of the team. No, he was perfect for when we needed him in 21 and 22. But I love that Brad Holmes is like, I'm going to get better. We're going to get better. So you look at, I didn't realize he's never had 1,000-yard rushing season. Alvin Kamara, which is crazy, but he gets in the end zone all day and he catches the ball. So look at his receptions, 81. I mean, Jamir Gibbs, I think, had like 50 catches. So the guy catches the ball. Awesome. Now, Chris Johnson, let's compare that. Dude got the ball a lot. I thought he was more of like you can see Gibbs got it 182 times. Look at how many carries he got. So we got double the carries, double the yards right here. So his average, Jamir Gibbs's average of 5.2 versus Chris Johnson was more in the 4.3s. I mean, he got the ball a ton in Tennessee, and he was always healthy. Look at that. He missed one game when he was with the Tennessee Titans. So shout out to him on that. I mean, crazy. But my point is, double the carries for Chris Johnson. Jamir Gibbs, I mean, you doubled his carries, he'd have 2,000 yards. Like, that's not that foregone of a conclusion because you're going to get injured and the whole thing, but we don't want him there. This is exactly where we want Jamir Gibbs. 182 carries on the season. He'll probably get more next year. He'll probably be more up in the 200 because it took him a while, those first like 5-6 games to kind of get going, but no more than that. I mean, Chris Johnson's an anomaly to be rushing the ball 300 times 300 times a season and never miss any action is just incredible. I mean, he even did it with the Jets. He goes to the Jets, plays every game. I didn't realize that. Shout out to him. So you can see how the Lions are going to use Jamir Gibbs. It's going to be exciting. And that's the thing about the Lions going forward. I know it's all kind of like, man, we're one half away from the Super Bowl, but think about how fun it's going to be just watching the Lions week in and week out. The Lions are going to lose games, right? They're going to catch a team that's hot. But in general, we are the general favorite every week next year. 17 games that you can sit down on a Sunday and just enjoy. It's 3rd and 6. Remember back in the day, Charlie Batch, you name the quarterback, name this team that you want, where it's like it's 3rd and 6. Charlie Batch is just, it's like, what are we gonna do here? We got nothing, and you're off the field. This is like, all right, we're fine. Get Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, and you saw that in the last 4 games. And I'll talk about Jameson Williams real quick. The last 4 games, Jameson Williams was taking defenders deep, pushing back, and then that's when you had St. Brown and Laporta coming across the middle, and Goff is so comfortable with those middle throws. And then you also saw Jamir Gibbs, just the check down guy. So it's 3 different layers. It's Jameson going deep. It's St. Brown 10, 15 yards. And then it's Jamir 5 yards. Dump it to him, makes a guy miss, 9-yard gain. The formula is there. The Lions are really just doing things that it's so great to see. And it would just, all these guys that we have are young and they're going to get better. And so Brad Holmes has to continue to draft. I mean, that's where it is. And it's like, you really see it now that you see it. You have to draft. Those are the players. And so let's look at this latest mock draft that I really liked. It comes from, let me find it here. It came from CBS Sports, and it's kind of interesting just to look at who's going where. So let me pull this up and we can kind of see what they're saying here on this latest mock draft. So you got Caleb Williams going to Chicago. Absolutely. I mean, I hope the Bears keep Justin Fields, but I don't think they're going to. Drake May, 6'4", 230. Like, hello. So you got a lot of quarterbacks and Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, McCarthy. McCarthy's not going to be a good pro. I'm saying it right now. Love you, McCarthy. I'm a Michigan fan. You're not going to be a good pro. I could talk about that for hours. All right, let's go down here. Bottom of the first round. Lions haven't been here in a long time, but love it. Let's go. It's where you want to be. You don't want to be picking in the top 10. TJ Tampa. Wow. Haven't seen this one yet. So this is why I like this one, because it's a new one. You got Braswell from Alabama, defensive end. You got some wide receivers. You got some corners. Byron Murphy. I really like him. Boy, he seems like a Baltimore guy, doesn't he? But this might not be the ideal fit for Detroit, but whoever in Lions take here, I'd put money on it being a defensive back. I disagree 100%. Remember the draft in 21 where we needed a receiver. I mean, we had no receivers. Brad Holmes takes St. Brown in the 4th round. I would almost bet it won't be a DB, just because Brad Holmes is going to find it might be a wide receiver. It might be it might be an offensive lineman here. But as for Tampa, he's tall, long corner who's better in zone coverages right now than man. He showed excellent ball skills at Iowa State to his ability to dissect routes quickly. So he's 6'2", 200. I've seen him at the first part of the 2nd round. I've seen him all the way down about 15, 16. So big range for these guys. But the point on this, there's a ton of corners in this draft, and so we should be in great shape. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one. Jamir Gibbs, clearly everyone would take him in a second now. We drafted him 14th overall, and here he is, or 12th. What is it, 12, 14, whatever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you